All right, today we're going to get into a screenplay called Back to Bolton. And let me tell you, this is a story that really gets under your skin. It weaves together decades of family history, foggy memories, and the kinds of secrets that can just blow a family apart. It's a really powerful look at how we deal with, or more often, how we don't deal with, our deepest losses. So everything really starts with these 6 little words on a wooden plaque. But this isn't just some random quote. It's the emotional key to the entire story. This marks the grave of Patrick, who was the infant son of our main character, Julie. And right here, this single line shows us the quiet, constant grief that has defined her whole life.
So, our guide on this journey is Julie. She's in her 50s, and her life is, well, it's a juggling act. She's caught between this tragic past she can't seem to move on from and the very real, very difficult present of taking care of her elderly parents, Bill and Shirley. Now, the immediate source of tension, the thing that really gets the story moving, is Julie's mom, Shirley. She's in her 70s, and her mind is becoming a bit of a maze. Her memory isn't just fading away quietly. No, it's failing in these really strange, unpredictable ways that have the whole family on edge. And this is where you see just how cruel and confusing her condition is. One minute, she can perfectly remember the name of their family dog, Sandy, from way back in the day. But then, in the next breath, she'll look right at her daughter, Julie, and call her Lisa, her sister's name. It's that kind of heartbreaking unreliability that sets the stage for a truly massive revelation. The moment that changes everything happens at, of all places, a 70th birthday party. It's supposed to be happy time, right? The family's back in their old hometown of Bolton, there's a barbecue going, sangria, old friends, the whole shebang. But you can just feel it. Something is about to crack. And that really brings us to the core question of this whole story. In a mind that's all jumbled up, where the past and present are getting mixed, what happens when a memory pops up that nobody was ever supposed to know about? A memory that could change everything they thought they knew about who they are. And then, bam, right in the middle of the party, maybe fueled by a little wine, definitely fueled by a lot of confusion, Shirley makes this absolutely stunning announcement. You can just imagine the record scratch, The chatter just dies. A 55-year marriage is put on the line as she blurts these words out, and her entire family is just speechless.
The details that come tumbling out are just shattering. Shirley insists that when she was a teenager, way before she ever met her husband Bill, she had a son. She says the father was a young man from a Pakistani family in their town and that the baby was taken away from her. And the absolute biggest shocker of all, her husband Bill, after all those years, is hearing this for the very first time.
So while the rest of the family is just reeling, is this the dementia talking, or is it a long-buried truth? Something ignites in Julie. For her, this isn't just a confusing outburst from her mom. No, for her, this is the start of a mission. It's a quest to find a half-brother she never even knew she had. And Julie doesn't just wonder about it. She takes action. She's all in. Her friend Jackie advises her to be careful, but Julie's already made up her mind. She hires a professional tracing agency and heads right back to Bolton. She is absolutely determined to find out if this incredible story is true. But you have to ask yourself, what is this quest really about? Is she just trying to solve a family mystery, or is there something much, much deeper driving her? The story makes it pretty clear that her search isn't just about finding a person out there. It's about finding something inside herself. This whole search creates a real conflict between Julie and her sister Lisa. See, Julie has this idea that finding this brother will finally bring a sense of completion to her life. But Lisa, she's the pragmatist. She sees the danger in this and gives her this incredibly sharp piece of advice. Don't go and make another hole just to fill the one you already have. And here, we get right to the heart of it. What Lisa means is what she calls the Patrick-sized hole in their family. It's this massive, unspoken grief over the death of Julie's baby son, Patrick, that has haunted them for decades. Lisa thinks this whole quest, it's not really about finding a brother. It's a distraction. It's a way for Julie to avoid the one loss she's never truly been able to face.
And that internal struggle, that Patrick-sized hole, well, that's how you know what Back to Bolton is truly about. This goes way beyond just a family secret. It's really an exploration of some of the biggest, most human themes out there.
First and foremost, this is a story about grief. You see it so clearly in Julie, who all these years later still holds a clay imprint of her son's baby feet. But it's not just her. Her friend Jackie also lost a child, but was never even given a grave to visit. Imagine carrying that alone. The story shows how that unspoken pain just ripples through a family, shaping everything for years to come.
The second big idea is memory itself. I mean, yeah, Shirley's dementia drives the plot forward, but the story asks a much bigger question. Can we really trust any of our memories? It suggests that our whole family history might be built on shaky ground. And at the same time, it shows us the paradox that remembering and having a place for those memories is absolutely essential if we ever want to heal. And finally, it's about family, all of it. The complicated, messy, beautiful stuff. You get this deep dive into the relationship between Julie and Lisa. They're so different, but they have that unbreakable sisterly bond. And it just perfectly dissects how one secret, real or not, can send shockwaves through generations, really testing everyone's love and loyalty. But in the end, it shows that family, as flawed as it is still our anchor. So with all this pain and confusion, where does Julie's search actually take her? Well, let's just say the ending isn't about finding a simple, neat answer to the mystery. It's about confronting something way more meaningful. This quote pretty much nails the story's final message. Julie learns that she can't just go back and fix the past. She can't fill that Patrick-sized hole with a person she's never met. The story suggests that real healing, true peace, comes from turning inward and finally making peace with the scars you already carry. In the end, this whole journey doesn't lead her where she thought it would. Instead, her search for this potential brother actually leads her to a place where she can finally acknowledge her own past. It opens a door not to replace what she lost, never that, but to finally share the weight of that memory with someone who understands. It's about confronting the past, not chasing ghosts. And that's what I want to leave you with. This story really makes you think about your own family's myths, doesn't it? It makes you wonder which stories that define you are actually true, and which ones have you maybe built up to protect yourself. And what would happen if your search for answers led you right back to the one thing, the one loss you've tried your entire life to forget?